Oh, you're right. Okay, you're right. All right, guys. Number one. A simple question here. This is, by the way, I want you guys to understand that this question actually runs through all the questions. So in the quiz tomorrow, I'm going to ask you for every question, what are the excluded values? So let's make sure just really quick that we can do that. To find my excluded values, it's going to be factoring the denominator, right? So I'm going to, because I only care about where the denominator equals 0. So the denominator, completely ignoring the numerator since I'm only asking about excluded, is going to be what multiplies to -8 and adds to -2. 2 and -4 will work for me because a -4 is bigger than a +2. Combined, they make the -2. So x cannot be 4, and x cannot be -2. I apologize really quick here. I'm going to do a resume if you just put a little thing over the E. Number 2, reducing. So here we need to factor everything. In order to reduce, which is once again a part of every problem, we need to factor the numerator and the denominator. So what multiplies to -10 and adds to 3? 5 and -2? +5, -2. And x squared minus 25? X plus 5 and x minus 5. Holly, you were about to say? Difference of 2 squares. I mean beyond a shadow of a doubt, have a difference of 2 squares on this quiz because you guys are not showing me you know it. So I'm threatening you with the difference of 2 squares by giving you that it will be on there. What cancels? X plus 5. Anything else? Nope, we're done. I'm not going to move on to the next slide yet. Don't worry. I'm going to write the reduced form. You do not, for my purposes here, I've seen your guys' work. For the most part, like 90% or more of you are able to distribute those properly, so I'm not worried as part of the quiz that you're able to distribute. So that is the final answer, is absolutely fine.
Would reduce be the same as simplify?
Yes, reduce and simplify mean the same thing in this case. In this case. Okay? Bethany, you good? I understand that we'll be waiting a bit every once in a while for people to finish writing. Elias? Okay. Mia? Yeah, on all of these we will. So what were the excluded values? We're going to go off of this one here. You can. Yeah. I didn't ask for it here, but yes, we're going to be going through the entire time. X cannot be -5, X cannot be 5, and X cannot be -2. That's based off all those. Elias?
This might not be a good question, but so for
Is it an evil question? Nothing, go ahead.
so if it's x plus 5, does it matter if the 5 and 2, like the signs doesn't matter? So it says like it's x minus 5 and then x plus 2. Would it matter?
What do you mean?
So to what goes like, what multiplies to -10 and then
Adds to 3.
yeah, would it matter?
Oh, you could have. I could have written x minus 2 times x plus 5. That's fine.
But you can't flip the sign.
I cannot flip the signs because that would have. If I flipped the signs, that would have made this a -3x. Yeah, good question. All right, number 3. I'm I'm adding 2 fractions. So what do I need? Common denominator. So 1 doesn't really matter. So what is my common denominator? X plus 3. So I'm going to have to multiply by x plus 3 over x plus 3. So now I have a common denominator. Since my common denominator exists, and that common denominator is x plus 3. And so my top is going to be x plus 3 times x minus 3 plus 9. This is not okay, right? We need to take it a little further. We need to take it a little further and actually multiply that out to simplify it completely. So let's distribute, yeah? What do I get? And if you guys were really good about your conjugate pairs, you would have been able to tell x plus 3 times x minus 3 was going to make, and I missed the squared for some reason there. But -9 and +9 cancel. So it's just x squared. Elias?
Oh, never mind. I see.
You know, I don't know why, but I really love my arrows. When I distribute, I always like my arrows. Yeah.
So did you do the x plus 3 over x plus 3 because it like
I need.
changed flip or what?
No, because I'm adding. So therefore, I'm adding two fractions. In order to add fractions, I need a common denominator. This one has a denominator of x plus 3. This one doesn't have a denominator. So I had to get an x plus 3 down here. But if what I do to the bottom, I got to do to the top.
I did like completely different, same answer.
Oh, really?
I did a whole different way, and I still got the.
What'd you do?
All I did was times 3 on the numerator, and then I just got x minus 3 or minus 9, and I just canceled the 9 out.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have had the squared.
You just didn't put the
No, this.
No, it's all right. I don't have time. I wish I could, Dimitri. But that fire alarm especially. All right. We good on writing? Bethany? Oh, no worries, Seth. Let me know. Cool. That was the lightest knock ever. And that was the lightest hit ever. You definitely should have hit her harder. And that is the lightest skin ever. What do you got? Oh, can I read it to the class? No, I'm okay.
kind of fashionable. Well, you always look fashionable.
Thank you. I'm not talking to you. Okay. All right. All right. She chose a sans serif font. No, I mean, I've got to teach the class right now. And unfortunately, I don't, yeah, I'm limited on time. So at the end, maybe. All right, guys, so we're subtracting again. So Bethany, I'm going to call on you a little bit, but I'm going to go at a certain pace. So if I need to warp ahead of you, I will. What did the bottom left factor into? Do you know offhand? Okay, multiplies to 30, adds to 11. 5 and 6 will work, and they're both positive. Multiplies to 20, adds to 9. 4 and 5. So Bethany, since I'm subtracting these two things, I need a common denominator. I can look at this one and say, what's it missing?
Okay.
Right, and that's, so the other one, it was missing the x minus 3. So that makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. And then, what's this one missing?
X plus 4.
Oh, this,
X plus 6.
yeah, this one's missing the x plus 6. Okay. I don't know why I don't usually put that fraction bar there. So one of the number one mistakes I saw on people who got to this problem yesterday, so we do have one singular common denominator. I'm going to go ahead and write that. It's x plus 4, x plus 5, and x plus 6. Right? So there's our common denominator, and my numerator is going to be x times x plus 4 and negative 5. And a lot of people miss that minus sign, right? And then x plus 6. So on this one, a lot of people still put plus 30, but when we distribute that negative 5, it will be a minus 30. And when I say a lot, I mean like 2 or 3, but where 2 or 3 people mess up, I can wager it's about a little bit more than that. So, Riley, I want to say I really appreciate your level of focus and the fact you don't have a phone out. It's super awesome. I appreciate that. You could have just said thank you. Okay, yeah, I'm going to distribute now, Elias, absolutely. Okay. Yep. Minus 30. You know, and the thing is, look, I was helping Clark yesterday with his homework, or I was watching him be helped, and you just, you know, so many times we have to make sure that we really watch what we're doing and think about what we're doing as we go. You say, go slow, I fall behind. The second hand unwinds. If you fall, I will catch you. You will find me time after time. All right. So, over a very large denominator. What was that? Oh, so Elias, can you want to factor that? Or Pisha Moon, you want to factor it? Yeah, multiplies to negative 30, adds to negative 1. No, not even a little bit. That's like the difference between somebody saying, like, I have an apple. I have 1 apple. Oh, you have to. You have to. Why do you have to, Holly? Now I'm going to. Yeah, something cancels, doesn't it? Something cancels. What cancels, Seth? Don't tell him. Don't even look his way.
Look at me.
That.
Look at me, Elias.
Okay.
X plus 4?
No, sir. What matches on top and bottom?
Oh, wait, X plus 5.
X plus 5. All right, so I'm going to go up, unfortunately, with this, and my final answer is x minus 6 over x plus 4, x plus 6.
So if we can factor, we always then do that.
Yeah. Well, not if you can factor, you always have to. If you can cancel, you always have to. But in order to cancel, more often than not, you've got to factor. Facts. Period. Guys, let me know when you're ready. Get the little bit of trash underneath your chair. I feel like there's some trash somewhere. I'm feeling it. There's some between those legs. Is that what I'm feeling, though? There's some green underneath you. He said diarrhea. All right. Everybody else good? Oh, Manny, okay. I'm just going to throw some trash away. Do I have to?
I'm still gonna answer questions.
I'm still going.
Oh, no, he's gonna leave us and that.
You look so stressed over here for some reason. All right. We good? Oh, okay. Almost. Okay. All right, guys. We're still adding, so we still need that common denominator. This one I don't want to take too many steps to take up the room. So what does that middle denominator factor into? Do you know, Dimitri? Okay. Riley?
X minus 1 is
Yeah, this is a difference of squares. Difference of squares, x minus 1, x plus 1. So now we can go through, what's the left one missing? X plus 1. What's this one? Sorry, the right one missing? X minus 1. Okay. So now I can write, since they all have the same denominator of x plus 1 times x minus 1.
it could just stay X minus 1 plus.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it because just in case something cancels at the end, I want to make sure I leave that bottom factor. There's no reason to turn it back into x squared minus 1. So I have 4x plus 1 minus 6 times nothing plus 3x times x minus 1. I always do that because I like them a little more centered. I don't know why. Anyway. Distribute. Let me just draw my arrows and then you can, and Pisa Moon's already doing it. Okay, go ahead. 4x. Uh-huh. Yep. Uh-huh. Correct. Oh. Not gonna do it. All right. So we're here. Combine like terms. So my numerator, my highest degree is 3x squared. Are there any other x squareds? No. So we have 3x squared. 4x and minus 3x make plus x, correct?
Minus 6.
Minus 2. Negative 6 and a positive 4 makes minus 2. So, unfortunately, this is something we have rarely. I don't know. I probably, maybe not at this point, but maybe for a test I will put something like this when it comes to factoring. This is still not terrible. But this does factor. We don't get in this class very often a time when the A and the C values are both not 1. And so that makes our life a little harder. But we're still good because, Kaya, what multiplies to 3x squared? Only two things could possibly multiply to 3x squared, as long as I'm not including 1. And not decimals, whatnot. Anyways, I'm overcomplicating it by saying that.
3x times.
Times? 3x times, you're on the right track. You just have to say one little letter. 3x times x. Don't get so quiet. You were completely right with the 3x. So 3x times x is the only thing that's going to make 3x squared. Okay? Does it make sense now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And now we just kind of have to necessarily use the meta possibly. Right? What multiplies to 2? 2 and 1. But we have an issue because depending on where we put 2, if I put 2 right here, I'll get 6. If I put 2 here, I'll get 6 when I multiply the 3. If I put 1 right here, I'll get 3. So I've got to decide which one do I want. Do I want to get a 6 or do I want to get a 3? Because I got to bring it back down to that 1. I'm going to want to put 3. I want 3. So yes, I'm going to put the 1 here and the 2 here. Because 3x and 2x will give me the 1x. This, if you need to go way back and use that Xbox method to do this, okay, but yeah.
Do we have to do that? Like, will you knock us down points if we don't do that and we just leave it 3x?
Oh, yes, yeah, because it's not done, because it's going to cancel some stuff, yeah. So which one's positive and which one's negative?
3x.
The 3x, this is going to be the minus, and this is going to be the plus. Because that's going to give me a positive 3x when I multiply 3x times 1, and a negative 2x. And a positive 3x and a negative 2x gives me a positive 1x. You know what? For some reason, third period had the same questioning look. So let's go ahead and really quick, don't write this one down, guys. I'm just proving my point. I get 3x squared. Everybody good with that? Okay. And then when I go here, I get positive 3x. And then a negative 2x. And those combined give me my positive 1x. Okay, minus 2. So that is exactly what's going to factor out. And then what cancels, folks? X plus 1. So then, Riley, we get to my actual final answer of 3x minus 2 over x minus 1. Is everybody, the way their answers are coming, is everybody flowing, gelling, feeling good? Okay, if you have questions, by all means, ask. Hey, you weren't very long at all. No, I don't need that. Unless it's a forgery.
Michael would never.
What if I check your backpack? What would you guys do if I checked his backpack right now and I just found an entire lunch bag full of little orange slips that he's forged?
You know what? That could actually be something. He snuck into the master copies.
He just
and copied them on colored paper.
Yeah, he's just walking by students all the time. He's like, hey, you want to be late to class? I got the goods. Opened up his jacket. It's got orange slips.
He's just completely lined with
Factor the 3 out? No, right here. You can't. So Mia's asking about whether or not factoring the 3 out front, the coefficient of 3. That's only if every item can have a 3 factored out. Don't forget, I can't. If this had a 3 and this was a 6 or something like that, I could. But since that's the only thing that has a factor of 3, I can't do it. Okay? Needs to all be factorable. Okay, 6, getting low on time. What can I factor out of the top left? 2. What can I factor out of the bottom left? X. That's not factorable. What can I factor out of the bottom right? Cancel, cancel. There's my yep, that's my final answer. Once again, you do not need to redistribute in order to get there. Okay? Guys, I want you to do amazing tomorrow.
Yeah, Mr.
Oh, the 3. The 3. Whoop, forgot about it.
Maybe I forgot.
Cameron, you have a question?
No, I got it.
Okay. Making weird eye contact with me, Seth, and I don't know, it's so close to Valentine's Day, it's making me uncomfortable. Okay? Oh my gosh, I was on Facebook, and I wish that I actually went to buy them for my wife, and I never buy Valentine's for my wife, but they had Avatar, The Last Airbender, the first series. They had like an ad for Valentine's for those, and they showed 4 of them, and I was like, these are amazing. And so I clicked on the link to buy them, and I didn't read the entire blurb above it. And the blurb above said, what goes best with Avatar Valentine's than the release of the steel box version of Avatar on Blu-ray? I was like, I don't want to buy Avatar on Blu-ray. So it wasn't actually for the Valentine. So I was sad. There was no actual Avatar Valentines. Because my wife and I are big Avatar The Last Airbender fans. And I was like, oh, they were awesome. Did you just ask me, or the movie? Yeah.
The movie was really good.
You know what? Dimitri's decided you guys all failed the quiz tomorrow. Sorry, life's terrible.
The movie was that the TV show.
That one's good.
Okay.
Are y'all?
I don't know what I'm going to assume, Holly, that they are. That they don't know, that they're thinking of something completely different. They're both thinking about like, you know, a Marvel Endgame or something. They're like, no, that movie was really good. So that's
No, you know.
I'm not gonna listen to Dimitri any longer.
What's the name of the chick that plays Gamora? She also plays in the.
Zoe Saldana?
Yeah, she also plays in that movie. I can't remember her name.
No, you're thinking of Avatar, the movie with the blue people.
Yes. That's not what we're telling him. It's a different.
Okay. No, but he's talking about the movie The Last Airbender. Anyhow, both of them were bad. Back to this. Guys, factor the top left. Yep. Back to the bottom. Okay. Back to the top right. And those were both negative. That's been a first time on these problems. They're both negative because they had to multiply to 8, positive 8, which means either both negative or both positive. They had to add to negative 6. That made both negative. What's up? Okay. All right, guys. What cancels? Anything else? We're good. A lot. There's one with even more that cancels. 5 more questions.
Isn't multiplying the easiest?
Yeah.
Do we have to say the excluded values?
Yeah, and all of them I'm going to ask for that on the quiz. So this one, the excluded values would be -5, +4, and -2.
So you don't need them to have the same.
No, no need for a common denominator. That's only when adding and subtracting them. I did say -5. Okay. All right. We good to move on? Okay. 8. Dividing. So we're going to do a keep, change, flip, but let's go ahead. I'm going to keep a running tab on excluded values for this one so we can at least keep that in mind. All right. Let's factor the top left. Factor the bottom left. Difference of 2 squares, folks. Fantastic, ladies. Well, I think you're the one who answered lady. So, factor the top right. Go ahead. plus 5 and plus 3 multiplies to 15, adds to 8, factor to the bottom right. Okay. And I don't know why I put times there. Okay. I have not flipped yet. Okay. My excluded values here, x cannot be what? 7, -7, -5. Everybody on board with that. I cannot be 7. I cannot be -7. And I cannot be -5. 7's already used. Don't need to say it again. Abracadabra, keepo, changeo, flippo. Make destiny laugho.
Wait, so can we not cancel?
You can't. Everybody else can. We can't until after keep, change, flip is done, Bethany. I don't know, Holly. Actually, I went over on prep to the market, and your mom was telling me that she snuck into your room last night and ripped out some pages and threw away your work. Yeah, she does that. All right, I say Bethany. Now I can cancel because I keep, change, flip. What cancels? Oh, what new excluded value do I gain? -3. After keep, change, flip, I've got this. This gave me a new excluded value. -5 was already one of my excluded values. That gave me a new one. So what cancels? X minus 7. X plus 5. X plus 7. So this one, you can really say it, Elias.
A lot of them cancel. Oh, they basically all cancel out.
Yeah.
I still got the same answers.
Whew, whew. 4 problems, 12 minutes.
Gotta do this, come on.
I've got gate duty.
Oh no, okay, no, we
Let's
really
go,
need help with
let's go.
that.
I'm gonna teach.
Yeah,
How do you feel about the live action Garfield movie?
it was okay. I'm waiting. Let people finish this one. So if anybody does not have online access, then you won't be able to necessarily catch the last 4 problems. Get them from somebody either who does have online access or who was here 3rd period. Because the second everybody's done writing, I'm not going to pause for you to write. I'm going to solve the last 4 problems. Okay? Question, Riley?
Never mind.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
We could be one last question.
no, for some reason I thought 4 was an excluded value.
Oh, okay. Michael? I normally would, but I have a meeting with Mr. Richards after school. Huh? Tomorrow. It just, I planned on it being today, but everybody would have said, give me more time. So I was just like, yeah. So I'm posting this. I'll be posting this. All right. So, all right, guys, 12 minutes. Let's see if I can do 4 problems in 12 minutes. I should be able to, I should hope. X minus 2 times x minus 2. Probably really don't have time to use straight line tools. X plus 3, x plus 4. Divided by. Can factor out an x cubed. Actually, I'm going to want to reverse the order. Since I want to reverse the order, I'm going to factor out a negative x squared. Since I factored out a negative x squared, that's going to turn this into a -2. And since I factored out a negative x squared, this is going to turn the other one into a positive x. That's going to make my life a little easier. I'm just rewriting because I didn't like the way it looked. And then at the bottom, I'm going to factor out an x. Really quick, my thought here, x squared is really x times x. I'm going to remember that as I move on and I do my keep, change, flip. My excluded values. X cannot be -3, x cannot be -4, and x cannot be 0. And the x cannot be 0 because of this right here. If x was 0, I'm dividing by 0. So keep, change, flip. Multiply. X times x plus 3 is on top. And I'm going to change that to -x times x minus 2 on bottom. Because x squared is x times x. My x minus 2's cancel, my x plus 3's cancel, and a singular x cancels with a singular x. So on top, it looks like I only have x minus 2 left over. On bottom, I have negative x times x plus 4. I'll allow up to 30 seconds of writing just in case. Okay. Okay. This one's the first solve one. Normally it's get a common denominator and then denominators don't matter. By cross multiplying, if I have simply a fraction equals a fraction, that cross multiplying just really comes in handy. And I'm going to get 2x times x minus 1 equals x plus 9 times x minus 2. I'm going to distribute. And I'm going to get 2x squared minus 2x. I'm going to distribute. I'm going to get x squared minus 2x plus 9x minus 18. I want all of my x squareds, I want everything to, since it's quadratic, I want everything on one side and get it equal to 0. I have a positive 2x squared on the left. That's my biggest x squared. So I'm going to bring everything to the left. Two x squared minus 1x squared leaves me with a singular x squared left over. Negative 2x plus 2x minus 9x gives me a negative 9x, and 18 is all by its lonesome, and that equals 0. Multiplies to 18 and adds to a negative 9 is going to be x minus 3 and x minus 6. So x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 6. I didn't double check my excluded values. Up here, x cannot be negative 9 and x cannot be 1, so both of my values are good. Moving on. 30 seconds and to write if you need to, then I'm going to do the next one. Pisha Moon's like, phone, picture, go.
So when it says solve, you just cross multiply?
No, I said when a fraction equals a fraction, then we can. Because it immediately falls apart when we get to number 11, right? It's not a single fraction equals a single fraction. Cross multiplying's out. So this one factors into x plus 4. Times x minus 4. So this one's missing the x plus 4. This one's missing the x minus 4. Now they all have the same denominator, so I can say denominators don't matter. So I've got 24. Oh, by the way, my excluded values are going to be x cannot equal negative 4 or positive 4. So I've got 24 equals 3 times x plus 4. It's 24 minus, my bad. 24 minus 3 times x plus 4 equals 4 times x minus 4. Distribute. 24 minus 3x minus 12 is equal to 4x minus 16. Add 3x to both sides. Simplify, get 24 minus 12 is 12. 7x minus 16, add 16. 28 equals 7x, divide by 7. And x equals 4, but I said right up here, x cannot equal 4, so that does not work because of the excluded value, so there is no solution. Oh. Oh, I could. Or I'll do something like number 12. So number 12, this has absolutely no denominator, so I'm going to say that's 1. It already equals 0. So I'm going to do x minus 5 times x plus 2. Gentlemen, stop talking. X minus 5, x plus 2. They now have the same denominator. I don't care about the 0. So I'm going to have 5 minus x minus 2 times x minus 5 times x plus 2 equals 0. Distribute. I'm going to get 5 minus x minus 2 times x squared plus 2x minus 5x minus 10 equals 0. Combine like terms, I'm going to get 5 minus x minus 2 times x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. Distribute my negative 2. Do not have combined the 5 and the minus 2. That would have been bad. 5 minus x minus 2x squared plus 6x plus 20 equals 0. Move everything to the right side and combine like terms. I'm going to have 2x squared. I'm going to have negative x and 6x makes 5x, so it'll be minus 5x on the other side. 20 and 5 make 25, minus 25 equals 0. That factors, I'm going to have a 2x and an x. And the only thing that makes 25 is 5 and 5. And it needs to be a negative 5, so I'll take the negative 10 and the positive here equals 0. So x is equal to negative 5 halves, and x is equal to 5. Coming up top, x cannot be 5, and x cannot be negative 2. So this answer is not there. This is the only solution, and we're done. So pause that as needed. Pause that as needed, and watch the video at home. I'll post it. Pack up. Go home. I've got gate duty